Hi, I'm Danna Woods. I'm a dietitian from Welia Health, and today we're going to talk about something sweet, sugar. That's sweet. Did you know that the typical American consumes 156 pounds of sugar every year? 156 pounds. That's a lot of sugar. Let's think about where we might be consuming sugar in our diet. We might think of things like cakes and cookies and candy bars and pie, and that's true. When we look at what was published in the 2015 to 2020 dietary guidelines for America, it shows that snacks and sweets comprise about 31% of the added sugars in our diet. But when we look at what contributes most to added sugars in our diet, it's from beverages, not including milk or 100% fruit juice. It's from beverages. And those beverages can include things like pop and sports drinks and energy drinks and some of our favorite sugary coffee drinks. These have a lot of added sugars to them. For example, this 12-ounce can of Mountain Dew has 11.5 teaspoons of sugar. And if we drink more Mountain Dew than that, such as a 20-ounce bottle of Mountain Dew, that has 19 teaspoons of sugar in this bottle. That's a lot of sugar. And what's wrong with having so much sugar in our diet? Well, we know that having a diet high in added sugars can have detrimental effects on our health. A high sugar diet has been linked with weight gain in both children and adults. People who have a high amount of sugar in their diet also have a higher risk of dying from cardiovascular disease, so having a stroke or having a heart attack. People who have a lot of sugar in their diet can increase the risk of developing diabetes. And we also know that high sugar in our diet can increase the risk of having cavities in our teeth. And there's been some research suggesting that a high sugar diet can increase the risk of depression. So for improving our health, we want to work on decreasing the amount of added sugar in our diet. The typical American consumes 22 teaspoons of sugar every day. 22 teaspoons. Now that's a lot of sugar in a day. And as we mentioned before, a lot of our sugar is coming from sugar sweetened beverages. So we want to work on reducing that in our diet. But how much is too much sugar? We know 22 teaspoons is a lot of sugar. We want to look at what is an okay amount of sugar every day. The American Heart Association suggests that women consume no more than 6 teaspoons of sugar in a day, and that men consume no more than 9 teaspoons of sugar in a day. Remember again that our biggest source of sugar in our diet is coming from sugar sweetened beverages. So let's focus on that. Again, that 20-ounce Mountain Dew has 19 teaspoons of sugar in it. We can look at the nutrition label to determine how much added sugar is in that product. In 2020, a new labeling law requires manufacturers to list the amount of added sugars in a product. So you can see in this 20-ounce Mountain Dew, it includes 77 grams of added sugar. Every time we consume 4 grams of added sugar, that equals a teaspoon. So this 77 grams is a little over 19 teaspoons of sugar in that Mountain Dew. When patients tell me they drink fruit juice, I often dig a little bit further and ask, what kind of fruit juice are you consuming? If you drink 100% fruit juice, there's typically no added sugar in that. But when we drink fruit punches or lemonades, there's oftentimes added sugar in that product. So for example, this Minute Maid Peach Punch, an 8-ounce glass of this punch would have 7 teaspoons of sugar in that. An 8-ounce lemonade of the Simply Lemonade, by looking at the food label, we can see that it would have about 6.5 teaspoons of sugar. So this 8-ounce lemonade would take us above what is recommended as the maximum amount of sugar for a woman in a day. Be careful of sweetened tea products. For example, this Golden Peak green tea has sugar added. A 12-ounce glass of this sweetened iced tea would have 6 teaspoons of added sugar. How about our coffee beverages? Well, just a cup of regular black coffee or a cup of hot tea does not have sugar in it. But when we add sugar packets or add a teaspoon of sugar into our coffee or tea, obviously we're increasing the added sugar in our diet. And we want to be careful of flavored creamers. 2 tablespoons of Coffee Mate liquid flavored creamer would have 2.5 teaspoons of added sugar, and a tablespoon of Coffee Mate French vanilla powder would have 1.5 teaspoons of added sugar. So if we're putting flavored creamers in our coffee, that also can increase our added sugars. And then we have our specialty coffee products like the cold frappuccinos or even a Starbucks 12-ounce vanilla cappuccino. That also has a lot of added sugar with 8 teaspoons in that 12-ounce cup of coffee. Sports drinks also include added sugars. So we want to be careful of how much sports drinks we're including. This 20-ounce Powerade has 8.5 teaspoons of added sugar. And the more we drink, the more sugar we're going to receive. So this is a 32-ounce bottle of Gatorade. If we would consume this entire bottle, it's 13 teaspoons of added sugar, which is more than the recommended amount for both men and women in a day. So these sports drinks can contribute to a lot of added sugar in our diet as well. So next time you're thirsty, rethink your drink. Consider choosing water most often. Water is sugar-free, it's calorie-free, it's inexpensive, and you can find it almost anywhere. So rethink your drink, rethink how much sugar you're consuming in your beverages, and choose water most often. Thank you.